Hello everyone. Today's topic is connective tissue. So connective tissue is applied to a term of tissues that fills the interstitial space, and this is present in major parts of the body. And when we see about the epithelium is formed by a compact or tightly arranged cells. Whereas when we see to the connective tissue, the cells are relatively very few and are widely separated by a prominent intercellular substance. So the intercellular element is more in number when compared to the cells in case of connective tissue. The cells are very limited in number, and the connective tissue is derived from mesoderm. The mesodermal cells give rise to a special type of cells called mesenchymal cells. So mesenchymal cells already we have seen. Mesenchymal cells are multipotent or pluripotent cells which can divide into any kind of cells. So that's why many different types of cells are coming under this connective tissue. And the connective tissue is highly vascular except for the cartilage. So connective tissue, the connective tissue engalla irukku? Just have a look. When an area of skin, see this first image, an area of skin is lifted off from the underlying tissue. See the skin and the deep tissue. These two are separated by a delicate network of fibers. And this network of fiber is called as superficial fascia, which is nothing but the connective tissue. And see the second image. This is a section of salivary gland. So we could see some acini and some ducts are present over here. And see these are separated by some thin elements, and this is called as the connective tissue. And these are present between the delicate epithelial cells, and this is the main support for these cells. And the next one, the histology of GI tract, and see mucosa, submucosa, and muscularis mucosa. And the mucosa is separated by a short distance from the muscular layer, and this is the submucosa, which is nothing but the connective tissue. And these are some of the examples of general connective tissue. And now coming to the functions of the connective tissue. So connective tissue the points to remember is cells are very less in number and the interstitial space is more in number. Functions of connective tissue. It provides supporting framework and they can withstand mechanical stress, and this helps to bind and connect the structures together. And it helps in defense mechanism as the immune cells are present in the connective tissue cells, and this helps for transport of different substances. As an example, the blood and lymph are an example of connective tissue, and which helps for transport, and also the interstitial fluid. And it is having a main function storage. An example is adipose tissue, where fat is stored there. And repair mechanism, example of fibroblast, which is having a main function of repairing. And see how we are classifying the the connective tissue. And the connective tissue is classified based on non-living components. It is made up of mainly the non-living components, and based on the arrangement of the components present in it, they are classified into two types mainly. embryonal type and adult type. So in embryo, we have two types, mesenchymal cells. Already I've told you, the mesenchymal cells are pluripotent cells, and the mesenchymal cells are pluripotent cells, which is the maximum cell present in the early stages of the embryo. So this mesenchymal cell will become a watery, viscous substance in course of time due to the formation of mucoprotein, and then it is called as mucous connective tissue. An example of this mucous connective tissue is Wharton's jelly, which is present inside the umbilical cord, and maximum number of stem cells. It is under research. Maximum number of stem cells could be retrieved from this Wharton's jelly, which is present in the umbilical cord. And coming to the adult type of connective tissue, so based on the arrangement of the connective tissue fibers, they are classified into dense and loose, which is otherwise called as areolar connective tissue. And the dense connective tissue is again divided into regular and irregular connective tissue. And still we have reticular type of connective tissue and adipose tissue and pigmented tissue. Now, the components of the connective tissue. What is the connective tissue is made up of what? So, connective tissue is made up of mainly three types of elements. The intercellular material, this is very rich in case of the connective tissue. அடுத்தது பாத்தீங்கன்னா fibers and certain cells. See, this is an example of connective tissue which is having all types of cells in it. See, these are the reticular fibers, and these are some of the cells, monocytes, macrophages, these fat cells, and the fibroblast cells, mast cells. These are the different kinds of cells which we will see later. And see the fibers. See, these are the collagen fibers, and the thin fibers are the elastic fibers, and these are reticular fibers. Mainly three types of fibers are present, and these are some of the cells of the connective tissue. And see the background, this is called as the ground substance or the matrix of the connective tissue, which we are going to see now. The ground substance or the intercellular material. The cells and the fibers of connective tissue are embedded in an amorphous material, and that is called as the ground substance. And அது எப்படி இருக்கும்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா, it is colloidal in nature. See, these are the ground substance, and the cells எல்லாமே இந்த ground substanceல தான் embed ஆயிருக்கும், and it can bind any amount of water. இதோட main function என்னன்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா, it acts as a medium of diffusion. So the materials, for example, see, this is the blood capillary, and through diffusion elements can move in and out of the blood capillary. So, and it should enter into the cells. See, this is epithelial cell layer and the basal lamina, and beyond this the connective tissue is present. So as the connective tissue is rich in blood supply, we know that. So இது blood vessels entering, flowing in the connective tissue. இதுல இருக்க nutrients எல்லாம் இந்த epitheliumக்கு போகணும்னா, so the நம்ம epithelium பார்க்கும்போது பார்த்தோம், epithelia are avascular. Only by diffusion the substances, nutrients will enter into the cell. So அதுக்கு help பண்றதா இந்த main ground substance. So இந்த ground substanceல என்ன இருக்கும்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா, the mucopolysaccharides. And the mucopolysaccharides may be sulfated or non-sulfated. அதோட different types பாத்தீங்கன்னா இதெல்லாம் தான். So keratin sulfate, chondroitin sulfate A, B, C, and hyaluronic acid. And these are different types of the mucopolysaccharides. Glycosaminoglycans or proteoglycans ன்னு சொல்லுங்க, a form of protein. Amino acids. இதோட build-up natureல ஒரு கொலாய்டலா வரக்கூடியதா நம்ம ground substance. This ground substance serve as a molecular sieve that can travel between the blood capillaries and the cells, thus helping in the movement of nutrients, oxygen, and also the waste materials between the two. And these mucopolysaccharides, இதுதான் இருக்கும்னு சொன்னோம் இல்லையா நம்ம ground substanceல, and these are jelly like substance and provide support in case of cartilage. Hyaluronic acid, இது வந்து ஒரு non sulfated mucopolysaccharide, and this is rich in synovial fluid. This prevents the spread of noxious agent in localized injuries. So a clinical condition called Hurley's syndrome. So இதுல என்ன ஆகும்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா, that is a mutation in some genes which are responsible for the synthesis of mucopolysaccharides. So in the mucopolysaccharides, synthesis is more in case of the Hurley's syndrome. So இதுல என்ன ஆகும்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா, a condition called mucopolysaccharidosis, increase the amount of synthesis of mucopolysaccharides. So இதனால என்ன ஆகும்னா, the skeletal growth is stunted. So அந்த cartilage ஓட deposition தான் அதிகமா இருக்கும். So the stunted growth is present. இதுல என்ன இருக்கும்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா, due to excessive accumulation of chondroitin sulfate B. And next என்ன பார்த்தோம், so intercellular material பார்த்துட்டோம், that is the ground substance. Next coming to the types of fibers present. So we have mainly 3 types of fibers: collagen, reticular, and elastic fibers. So in the collagen fibers எப்படி இருக்கும்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா, bundle of non elastic fibers. பாருங்க, these are the bundle of fibers, flexible in case it is flexible and also non extensible. Flexibility கொடுக்கும், but it is not allowing for extension. இந்த collagen fibers எங்க இருக்கும்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா, bones, tendons, ligaments, dermis, dentine of teeth, the hyaline cartilage which is present in the upper respiratory tract, trachea, bronchus, இதுலலாம் இருக்கக்கூடிய larynxல இருக்கக்கூடிய cartilages எல்லாமே maximum பாத்தீங்கன்னா hyaline cartilage and white fibrous cartilage, and the basement membrane which is present beneath the epithelium, and the periosteum which is the outer covering of the bone. All these are made up of collagen. The collagen fibers ங்கிறது என்னன்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா, a type of cell called fibroblast cell. அதுவும் connective tissue ஓட ஒரு செல் தான். So அந்த fibroblastல இருந்து synthesis ஆகக்கூடியது தான் collagen. More than 28 to 30 types of collagen are present. So அதுல பாத்தீங்கன்னா நம்ம இம்பார்ட்டண்டா type 1, type 2, type 3, type 4 collagen நம்ம வந்து மெயினா பார்ப்போம். So இந்த type 1 collagen எதுல இருக்கும்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா, tendons, ligaments, aponeurosis இதுல எல்லாம் present ஆயிருக்கும். இந்த dermis of skin and the meninges இதுல இருக்கிற எல்லா collagenமே பாத்தீங்கன்னா type 1. So any mutation in the gene which is responsible for the production of type 1 collagen அப்படின்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா, so இதுல எல்லாம் deformation இருக்கும். So tissues, tendons, ligaments இதுல எல்லாமே malformations இருக்கும். Type 2 collagen. So type 2 collagenங்கிறது பாத்தீங்கன்னா type 1 ஓட combined-ஆவே தான் வரும், and it is present in hyaline cartilage. Hyaline cartilages லலாம் இருக்கக்கூடியது type 2 collagen. And type 3 collagen, இந்த type 3 collagenம் type 1ம் சேர்ந்து தான் mainly இந்த reticular fibers ஓட formationக்கு help பண்ணுது. And the type 4 collagen is present in the basal lamina. நம்ம ரெண்டு types of laminae பார்த்தோம் basement membraneல, அதுல basal laminaல இருக்க இந்த type 4 collagen. And lens capsule of the eye, lens capsule இருக்கிறதும் இந்த type 4 collagen தான். And next பாத்தீங்கன்னா reticular fibers. So type 1 and type 3 combined ஆயிட்டு and it's responsible for the formation of reticular fibers, and these are slender net like framework. So இது எங்கெல்லாம் இருக்கும்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா, so network எங்கெல்லாம் இருக்கணும், so support எங்கெல்லாம் கொடுக்கணுமோ அந்த இடத்துல எல்லாம் இருக்கும். ஸோ கிளாண்டுலார் ஆர்கன். ஸோ நிறைய அசினைய ஒரே இடத்துல சப்போர்ட் பண்ணி வைக்கணும். ஸோ அப்போ நெட்வொர்க் மாதிரியான ஃபைபர்ஸ் இருந்தால் தான் அதுக்கு ஹெல்ப் ஆகும். ஸோ கிளாண்டுலார் ஆர்கன்ஸ், lympho-reticular organs like spleen, lymph nodes இதுல எல்லாம் நிறைய இருக்கும். அந்த basal lamina. So இதுல எல்லாம் தான் reticular fibers are present. And இதோட main function பாத்தீங்கன்னா supportive framework of the glands. See, this is a section of gland and see how tightly arranged all the acini are. And the next type is elastic fibers. So this is mainly very single fibers, and it is very frequently branch and anastomose with each other. And see this, like this only the elastic fibers are present, and they are thin and they are more elastic than collagen. That is a very important nature. So they are more elastic. Exception in the ligamentum flavum. Ligamentum flavum is a ligament present in the posterior part, vertebral bodies la irukக்கூடியது. நம்ம transverse process எல்லாம் innervate பண்ணக்கூடிய ligamentum flavum. So that is also rich in elastic fiber, but it is made up of less elastic fibers. And these elastic fibers are more in case of epiglottis and many ligaments of the body, and the auricle or the pinna. That is also an example of elastic tissue. The main feature of this elastic fibers is they can stretch easily with perfect recoil, provides flexibility and elasticity to any organ. Next, the cells of the connective tissue. So in the cells of connective tissues, we are dividing into two types, mainly fixed cells, adukune irukkudiya native cells, and some are wandering cells. So moving from blood streams la irukkalam, lymph la irukkalam, tissues la irukkalam. So the madri wandering cells, moving cells. So fixed cells of the connective tissues pathina fibroblast and the adipocytes. These two are the mainly fixed cells, and the other cells are macrophages, mast cells, plasma cells, and these are derived from the monocytes. And all the blood cells, lymphocytes, neutrophils, eosinophils, so these are coming under phagocytic system, mononuclear phagocytic system. இதெல்லாம் ஏன் நம்ம connective tissue குள்ள கொண்டு வரோம்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா, these are all derived from the mesenchymal cells. So these are also included in the connective tissues. And one more thing, in the types of cells லீமே பாத்தீங்கன்னா cellular elements விட interstitial tissue ல இருக்கக்கூடிய space and the substance தான் அதிகமா இருக்கும். அதனால these are also included in the connective tissue. இப்போ ஒரு சில cells மட்டும் நம்ம பார்ப்போம். Fibroblast, these are the most numerous cells of the connective tissue. And they are called fibroblasts because they are connected with the production of collagen fibers. Main function of this fibroblast is collagen fibers. They also produce reticular fibers and also the elastic fibers. எல்லாத்தையுமே இது produce பண்ணுது. So இது நம்ம என்ன சொல்லலாம்னா stem cells with multiple processes. So pluripotent எந்த cells எல்லாம் இருக்கோ more than 2 kinds of cells கொடுக்கிறது எல்லாமே நம்ம stem cells னு சொல்லலாம். And it is actively producing the intercellular material. Tissue regeneration after injury, அதுல main role play பண்றது இந்த fibroblast தான். So fibroblast அப்படின்னா these are young cells. Matured cells எல்லாமே என்னன்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா fibrocytes. Cytesனாலே mature cell. Fibroblast, blast refers to young cells. So young cells எங்கெல்லாம் இருக்கோ they can differentiate, they can multiply, they can divide. Whereas cytes ன்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா it is matured cells, they cannot divide. So அப்போ ஒரு tissue regeneration or ஒரு repair ஆகுது, ஒரு tissue injury ஆகுது அப்படின்னா இது shrink ஆகணும்னா fibroblast இருக்கணும். அது shrink ஆயிட்டு scar tissue மாறுது, hard tissue மாறிடுச்சு, it cannot multiply more அப்படின்னா the fibrocytes எல்லாம் ஃபார்ம் ஆயிடுச்சுன்னா Next one is macrophages. These are also irregularly shaped cells. The primary role is in removal of cellular debris, including apoptotic neutrophils and phagocytosis of large pathogens. பாருங்க இங்க ஒரு எக்ஸாம்பிள் போட்டிருக்கோம். ஸோ phagocytosisக்கு ஒரு எக்ஸாம்பிள். ஸோ இந்த மேக்ரோபேஜஸோட ஃபங்க்ஷன்ஸ் என்னன்னு பார்த்தீங்கன்னா, நியூட்ரோஃபில்ஸோட மெயின் ஃபங்க்ஷனே எங்கெல்லாம் டிஷ்யூ இன்ஜுரி இருக்கோ அதுக்கு இன்ஃபர்மேஷன் வந்தோடனே இட் வில் migrate towards the tissue injury and it will phagocytose the repaired cells. Yeah. So it acts as the shock troops. The macrophages என்ன பண்ணும்னா இந்த pathogens engulf பண்ணிருக்க neutrophils-ஐயும் absorb பண்ணி phagocytose பண்ணி அதை clear பண்ணும். So neutrophils act as shock troops and the macrophages mop up all the debris or this is called apoptosis. So அந்த pathogen engulf பண்ணிருக்க அந்த neutrophils-ஐயும் clear off பண்றது இந்த macrophages. So macrophages are named differently in different places. When it is present in bone marrow, it is called monocytes. And when it is present in liver, it is called Kupffer cells. And in case of lymph nodes, it is called histiocytes. Cells. Mast cells. These are responsible. And in the mast cells, I will tell you some other names. These are otherwise called as mastocytes or histaminocytes. And these are having some coarse cytoplasmic granules. These are otherwise called as metachromatic. So in the metachromatic நம்ம எப்போ சொல்லுவோம்னா ஏதாவது ஒரு ஸ்டெயின் நம்ம ஒரு என்ன சொல்லுவோம்னா metachromatic cells அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவோம். And these mast cells are called metachromatic cells because of the granules present. So this granule is responsible for the mediation of inflammatory responses. So anaphylactic response, hypersensitivity, allergic reactions, இது எல்லாமே எதனால வருதுன்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா because of this mast cells. அப்படி இந்த mast cellோட cytoplasmல என்ன இருக்கு பாத்தீங்கன்னா heparin, which is an anticoagulant, and the main thing is histamine. So this histamine is responsible for vasodilatation, and this causes permeability of substances in the capillaries, and this in turn causes the contraction of smooth muscles. So அதனால தான் edema and allergy, urticaria நம்ம சொல்றோம் இல்லையா, these are all nothing because of the immune response which is produced by histamine and which is present in the cytoplasm of this mast cells. And these are numerous along the course of blood vessels. So இங்க பாருங்க, so ஒரு pollen cell enter ஆயிருக்கு and a cell called plasma cell is engulfing this. In the plasma cell is releasing immunoglobulin E. இந்த immunoglobulin E என்ன பண்ணும்னா இந்த mast cells வந்து ஸ்டோர் பண்ணி வச்சுக்கும் அதோட மெம்பரேன்ல, attach themselves to the mast cells. So next time when the person is exposed to the same type of any allergen, so any pollen or any type of toxic, so அதுக்கு expose ஆகும்போது இந்த mast cellோட membrane attach ஆயிருக்கு இல்லையா, அந்த immunoglobulin E will have the memory of that antigen and it will have that particular antibody. So உடனே என்ன பண்ணும்னா it will release the granules. இந்த mast cellsல இருக்குன்னு சொன்னோம் இல்லையா, அந்த granules release பண்ணிட்டு, which is a powerful chemical mediator. அந்த chemical mediators என்னெல்லாம், histamines and cytokines, and this will produce the allergic reactions. So அதுதான் நம்ம அலர்ஜியா ஸ்கின்ல பார்க்கணும். And plasma cells, these are irregularly shaped cells. இதோட chromatin பாத்தீங்கன்னா cartwheel like appearance. அதோட chromatin inside the nucleus will have the chromatin. And இது வந்து நம்ம histology histopathologyல போகும்போது cartwheel appearance nucleus la irundhudna, that indicates the presence of plasma cells. So plasma cells epala irukko when the body is exposed to antigens. So in the plasma cell number increases in the presence of certain types of inflammation. So epala inflammation adhigama irukko appada plasma cells oda number vandu adhigama irukum. So it is believed that the plasma cells represent B lymphocytes. B lymphocytes la irundhu derive ஆகி வந்த cells தான் இந்த plasma cells. And this is the major producer of circulating antibodies. And it is involving in all types of immune responses. And it is combining with the lymphocytes and macrophages. And these are collectively forming the mononuclear phagocytocyte system. MPH solrolia, that is nothing but collective response of plasma cells, lymphocytes, macrophages ella sendadha. And these plasma cells are present more in the gastrointestinal mucosa and the greater omentum. And chronic infections engala irukko plasma cells oda numbers vandu adhigama irukum. And adipocytes, these are fixed cells and storage of fat. That is the main function. See this is one adipocyte and it is having a large droplet of fat. Because of this droplet of fat, the nucleus is pushed to one side. When we see the section, histology section la paathona kuda, nucleus is present in the peripheral part of the cell, and this causes the cell to resemble a signet ring. This is the main feature of the adipocyte. Adipose tissue நம்ம எங்க பார்த்தோம்னாலும் it will be like the nucleus present at the periphery, signet ring. Am I audible, Pa?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So although some amount of fat may be present in the cytoplasm of many cells, including fibroblasts la kuda, some amount of fat will be there. So these are specialized cells which can store fat in large amounts and become distended with it. இதை நம்ம என்ன சொல்லுவோம்னா adipocytes, lipocytes, fat cells எல்லாமே தான். The aggregation of fat cells constitute the adipose tissue, and which is present in the subcutaneous part. Melanocytes, these are color producing cells. These are also fixed cells that produce and store melanin, which is a brown pigment that gives tissue a dark color. அடுத்து இதெல்லாம் adult type of cells. Embryonic connective tissue நம்ம சொன்னோம் இல்லையா, these are connective tissue which give rise to all other types of connective tissues. இதுதான் நம்ம mesenchymeனு சொல்றோம், mucous connective tissueனு சொல்றோம். So mucous substance watery-ஆ அந்த jelly like substance-ஆ மாறும்போது it is called mucous connective tissue. அதுக்கு எக்ஸாம்பிள் தான் நம்ம Wharton's jelly பார்த்தோம், which is present in the umbilical cord. And different types of connective tissue. So based on the arrangement of the fibers, the connective tissue are classified into loose, dense, regular, dense, irregular, reticular tissue, adipose tissue, and pigmented tissue. இது எங்கெல்லாம் இருக்குன்னு மட்டும் நம்ம ஜஸ்ட் பார்க்கலாம். So loose connective tissue is present in superficial fascia and the neurovascular bundle. நம்ம இந்த femoral sheath, carotid sheath, axillary sheath இதெல்லாம் பார்க்கல இல்லையா, this is nothing but loose connective tissue or the areolar tissue, and it binds the structures and it acts as a padding material. Dense regular connective tissue, இந்த dense regular connective tissue எல்லாமே பாத்தீங்கன்னா mostly white fibrous cartilage ஆல இருக்கும். So white in color, tendons, ligaments and aponeurosis இதுல எல்லாமே இருக்கிறது dense wide fibrous tissue and regularly arranged connective tissue. இதோட main function, it forms structure of great tensile strength, dense irregular connective tissue, and this is present in the dermis, periosteum, perichondrium. Peri means outer layer, so it is, if it is covering the bone, then it is called periosteum. If it is covering the cartilage, then it is called perichondrium. Chondrium means cartilage. And some of the capsules of the organs, prostate capsule, thyroid capsule, these are all nothing but dense irregular connective tissue. So this helps to form tough sheets around the organ. Reticular tissue. Reticular tissue, a network of fibers, and this is mainly present in reticuloendothelial organs. And the main function of reticular tissue is phagocytosis. Adipose tissue. This is adipose tissue. இப்போதான் நம்ம பார்த்தோம், aggregation of adipocytes is called adipose tissue. இதுல நம்ம ரெண்டு டைப் பார்ப்போம். White fat, which is the body fat, நம்ம interscapular region fat, the adipose tissue, and some tissue called the brown fat, which is more in case of rodents. Smaller form of vertebrates are called rodents. அதுலலாம் இருக்கிறது நம்ம brown fat ன்னு சொல்லுவோம். And the main function of adipose tissue is important food reserve and shock absorbent and conservation of heat. Pigmented tissue. Pigmented tissues எங்க இருக்கு? melanocytes சொன்னோம். dark color appearance skin க்கு கொடுக்கிறது காரணம் this pigmented tissue, and it is present in choroid and iris of eyeball. Main function is complexion, and it protects the skin from cosmic rays of sun. So collagen, already we have seen. So collagen is produced by this fibroblast. So collagen formation le pathina, there are many processes. Amino acids are mainly responsible, and this amino acid is taken up by the fibroblast cells, and these are linked together to form alpha chains, and these chains join and forms a type of collagen called tropocollagen molecules, and these tropocollagen molecules aggregate to form collagen fibers. And இதுல நிறைய types இருக்குன்னு பார்த்தோம். type 1, type 2, type 3, type 4 இங்க mention பண்ணிருக்கோம். So some connective tissue are called modified connective tissues. அதுதான் நம்ம பார்த்தா blood and the mononuclear phagocyte system. அதுல தான் neutrophils, lymphocytes, monocytes எல்லாம் வரும். And cartilage. Cartilage, there are 3 different types of cartilage: hyaline cartilage, elastic cartilage, and white fibrous cartilage. Hyaline cartilage, I already told you, நம்ம tracheal rings, bronchus ல இருக்கக்கூடிய cartilages, and also larynx ல இருக்கக்கூடிய maximum number of cartilages. All these are made up of hyaline cartilage. And white fibrous cartilage, the cartilages, the meniscus சொல்றோம் இல்லையா, between the inside, between two bony articulations inside the synovial membrane. These are the separating pad which prevents lubrication. And elastic cartilage, epiglottis, auricle ella irukku. And one important type of modified connective tissue is bone. இதுல என்ன இருக்குன்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா osteocytes. So நிறைய different types of connective tissue cells பார்த்தோம். போன்ல மட்டும் osteocytesங்கிற specific tissue will be predominant. So coming to the clinical anatomy, there are more than 200 different types of connective tissue diseases. அதுல ஒரு சிலது மட்டும் நம்ம பார்ப்போம். Osteogenesis imperfecta. Osteogenesis means formation of bone imperfecta. So bone formation la the collagen is the main depositing factor in the formation of bone. So if there is any mutation in the production of collagen, then production of genesis of bone. That is called osteogenesis. That will be imperfect. Then it is called osteogenesis imperfecta. So collagen is not properly formed, so that bones become very weak and fragile. So fraction, spontaneous fracture is very common, and this is because of mutation in genes which produce collagen. And the next condition is Marfan syndrome. The genes which are responsible for the production of an enzyme called fibrillin, and this fibrillin is formed abnormally, so that fibrillin என்னன்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா elastic tissues or elastic fibers ஓட synthesisக்கு main precursor பாத்தீங்கன்னா இந்த fibrillin தான். So abnormal fibrillin will cause abnormal elastic fibers, which in turn produces subluxation of the lens and the tunica media of the aorta. So major arteries எல்லாமே பாத்தீங்கன்னா we have three tunics. Tunics na membranes or three layers. So from inner to outer, tunica intima, tunica media and tunica adventitia, மூணு layers சொல்லுவோம். இதுல இந்த tunica mediaல elastic fibers அதிகமா இருக்கும், elastic arteries. So pumping function to extend far away, நம்ம toes வரைக்கும் extend அனுப்பணும் blood. So from the heart. So that is done by this major elastic arteries, which are having more number of elastic tissue in tunica media, and that will become very weak. So this causes rupture of the vessel, and sometimes aneurysm will be very common. And this syndrome is called Marfan syndrome. And scurvy. So vitamin C deficiency, scurvy na namak theriyum. So what happens when vitamin C is deficient? And vitamin C and D are very important for the synthesis of collagen. So collagen, connective tissue, so which is responsible for holding all the structures. So collagen synthesis la poor இருக்கும்போது the connective tissue will become very weak. That's why bleeding gums எல்லாம் very common இருக்கு. So next is rheumatoid arthritis, one of the most common connective tissue disease, and it is inherited. இது வந்து நம்ம autoimmune disease ன்னு சொல்றோம், because the immune system attacks its own body. In this systemic disorder, immune cells attack and inflame the membrane around the joints. That is what causing polyarthritis. Scleroderma. This is also an autoimmune disease that causes scar tissue to form in the skin, internal organs including the GIT and some small blood vessels. And the next condition is granulomatosis with polyangiitis, a form of vasculitis. You know the word which is ending with itis means inflammation. So vasculitis means inflammation of the vessels. Polyangiitis means more than one artery or vein is involved. Then it is called polyangiitis. That affects the nose, lungs, kidneys and other organs. SLE, systemic lupus erythematosus, a disease that causes inflammation of the connective tissue in every organ of the body, from brain, skin, blood and even lungs. And a condition called keloid, which is a local swelling caused by abnormally large amount of collagen that form in scars of the skin. So collagen deposition nala da namakku scars form avudhu when it is producing swelling or abnormal amount of collagen deposition is called keloid. Regenerative capacity of connective tissue is clearly observed in organs damaged by ischemia. Ischemia means lack of oxygen, inflammation and a traumatic injury. The spaces left after such injuries, especially in tissues whose cells divide poorly or not at all, example cardiac muscle, are filled by connective tissue, forming dense, irregular scar tissue. The healing of surgical incisions. Surgical incisions la pathina, it will repair, the heal will be very faster. So healing of surgical incisions and other wounds depends on the repairing capacity of connective tissue, particularly on activity and growth of fibroblast.